Okay, welcome back to another video. Today we're in Medellin, Colombia. Hopefully the background is picking up a little bit better than what it's looking like on screen. But we'll see in the finished video. Today's video is all about the ultimate biohacking routine. So if you apply everything in this video, this will be the only biohacking guide you'll ever need. This has come from years of research, trial and error, study, and thousands of dollars invested into mentors and coaches to teach me this information. If you apply what's in today's video, I guarantee mentally, physically, and spiritually, you'll be having a much better life, you'll be making more money, looking better, and having better relationships. So let's get into the video. So it's split up in 5 main categories. We've got your diet, the training, the supplements, as well as your morning routine and your nighttime routine. So we start with the diet. Now, really quickly, make sure you've got your phone notes open on your phone or a pen and paper so you can take some notes down. This is rapid fire information. We're not getting too deep into the science. I just want to give you as much value as I can in as short time as possible. So firstly, with the diet, we need to focus on whole foods. So your meats, your veggies, your fruits, things that don't come in a package, ideally, right? And then we want to make sure that the food we're cooking, so I use a meal prep company, they use no seed oils. If I'm ever cooking my 6 eggs, which is one of the meals I have per day, only time you ever catch me cooking, I use ghee butter. So no seed oils. And when I go out for a restaurant, I always say, please cook it with butter or olive oil or coconut oil. Can't do any seed oils. So this is your sunflower oil, your canola oil. So what this does is causes immense inflammation from the body. It's also a carcinogen. So this means it can literally cause cancer if you have too much of it. This is in everyday food, all fast food, deep fried in seed oils, and we need to eliminate this as much as possible. This is probably one of the most crucial parts of this video, is if you've got too much inflammation from the seed oils, nothing else matters because your immune system is fighting this inflammation rather than repairing the rest of your body. Then we need to have a big emphasis on the gut. So the gut microbiome and your gut health, it's called the second brain. Reason being is that equates for 70% of your immune system. So if your gut is out of whack, your body only has 30% of its immune system to fight off anything. So the way we have a healthy gut, you can do like a fast into like a gut health fast. So it's like day 1 of the fast, there's like certain supplements you have, you can do some research, we won't get too deep into it, but it's like you strip the gut, 2nd day is you repair the gut, 3rd day is you seal the gut. Now, some foods that are very, very, very good for the gut because they're rich in probiotics and all that good stuff is kombucha, kefir, sauerkraut, and chia seeds as well. And then also if you make sure that you have a lot of salt on your food, Celtic sea salt ideally, it makes sure that if you're well hydrated, you've got a better immune system, got a better gut, therefore we've got a better life. So 70% of your immune system is from your gut, and protect this at all costs. And on this point, if you're ever on antibiotics, try to avoid them. I've been on antibiotics a few times for a staph infection. So then once you get off the antibiotics, you have to have a huge emphasis on repairing your gut. Then we want to eat organic food as much as possible, especially berries as well, because they absorb all the pesticides that are sprayed on them. Pesticides that are sprayed on the food, so they last longer in shopping centers or at your home, etc. They're full of carcinogens, heavy metals, and they can cause cancer, ruin your gut health, etc., etc. Now onto the water point, we need clean filtered water. So not one of these little filters that you pay $20 for and it's maybe only yay big, right? We've got a huge water filter. It's like 8-step filtration, etc., etc. So what that does is removes chlorine, fluoride, and a bunch of heavy metals. And also, if you're in a city where if people are on the birth control, so females are on the birth control pill, so EE2, that is then urinated when they go to the toilet and it comes through the waterways. So when you drink tap water, you're literally drinking estrogen. And as a man, we don't want that. So make sure you have a really, really good filtration system. Gary Brecker goes quite deep into this. He's got a full setup. Now, finally, in regards to the diet, is fasting. So I miss 1 day of eating per week. So Sunday I'll have like a bit of a cheat meal, or a couple cheat meals rather, get my calories up, and then generally Monday I don't eat. And then I probably have about a 6-hour eating window on most days. So I'll eat from probably midday to 6 p.m. Reason being is, number 1, I know when I'm fasted with a black coffee, I get a lot more better work done. So I'm locked in with my work. I don't have any carbohydrates slowing me down. So when you're in a fasted state, your body goes into something called autophagy. So what that means is all of the bad cells in your body, so let's say any cancer cells, any parts of the body that your immune system needs to repair, when your body goes into this autophagy state, it fuels the body by burning those bad cells. So that's why I sometimes do, maybe every couple months I'll do a 3-day fast. So we've got, let's say maybe 60 hours of that 72-hour period. My body's in autophagy, literally burning all the cancer cells, all that good stuff. So fasting is key. Now onto training. I believe that everyone should be training 6 days per week, with Sunday being a rest day, or whatever day that is. You can train 7 days a week, however, that's up to you. At 6 days a week minimum, on a Sunday, do a sauna, ice bath, recover, get a massage, something of that caliber. Now, according to Andrew Huberman, we need 3 sessions per week based on weights. So weights and mobility based, and then 3 sessions per week on some sort of cardio. So you can do swimming, running. If you're a little bit older, maybe do some cycling. What I suggest for when you're not doing the 3 gym sessions per week, I suggest doing 3 fight sessions. To do like kickboxing, BJJ, something of that caliber, where you know you're pushing the heart from a cardio perspective, and that is the best for longevity and health. Now also implement ice baths, cold exposure, as well as saunas for your recovery, and also helps with your protein synthesis, your testosterone levels, etc., etc. And also massages, as well as the other things I just said, help with your lymphatic system, so draining all of the toxins out of the body. And finally, when you train every single day, you get a mental edge. It's a mental thing. So train every day, except Sunday if you want. Now, onto the third point, the supplements. Now, I'm gonna read this off my list. We've got vitamin D plus K3. Make sure if you get a vitamin D supplement, it's got K3 as well. It just helps with the, I guess, your overall health. So I have anywhere from 5,000, 8,000 IU per day. Obviously still get my sun as well, but this is really good for testosterone, etc., and your hormone support. Now, a really good general multivitamin, self-explanatory. A clean protein powder. For me personally, I don't have dairy, I don't have wheat, I have a pea protein powder, so it's vegan. And then creatine, we all know the benefits of creatine. Helps with not only your physical performance, but also your mental performance. Want to have like a vitamin C and a zinc supplement for your immune system. Fish oils, want to have like an amino acid as well. A company called Baja Sea Salt. So have that as like your morning electrolytes. It's a very, very, very good salt that has a heap of trace minerals that your body needs. And then also I have some Shilajit just for the testosterone booster. So having a probiotic every single day just helps build your gut microbiome. Obviously better the gut, better your immune system, better your overall life is. Now, onto the fourth point, it's all about your morning routines. So I think you can get down a morning routine to around 20 to 30 minutes. So what I personally do is as soon as I wake up, I will brush my teeth and do some oil pulling. Now, I floss first with a water flosser, brush my teeth, scrape my tongue, and then do some oil pulling. And what that does is it actually cleans out the toxins from your blood when you're like coconut oil. You're just swishing it around your mouth like that for a few minutes. Then next thing I go into is having some water, some sea salt, and then I'll also put some amino acids in there as well. So when you sleep, your body gets dehydrated, so when we wake, we want to replenish that. Then get into morning sunlight as quickly as possible. So I open my window and I just stare at the sun for 5 minutes when I wake up. And what this does, it sets the circadian rhythm. So then your body knows the following day you'll be getting sunlight around the same time. So it sets your body clock so you wake up around the same time every single day. And that's one thing as well with your sleep, is you want to go to bed and wake up at the same time as much as possible. Then after that in the morning with a bit of morning sunlight, I generally habit stack this with a little bit of breath work and meditation. Nothing too crazy, nothing too long. And then I'll finish it with some cold exposure and a bit of a cold shower. Get ready for the day, either go to a training session or I get straight into work. And then sometimes I do like a little bit of dynamic stretching there just to get the body going. So that's the morning routine, biohacking morning routine. Now into the nighttime routine, probably around 30 minutes as well. No screens and water 1 hour before bed. So if we have water before bed, we're going to the toilet throughout the night, self-explanatory. And if we're on our screens, ruining once again your body's circadian rhythm, and then it thinks it's daytime when it's not, and it affects your sleep. Now, no food 2 hours before bed. Reason before this, I know these are guidelines, guys, don't get me wrong. If you go for a nice dinner on Saturday night, it might be 1 hour before bed, but just as overall, we want to optimize the day-to-day. There are some exceptions. Reason no food before bed is if you have a huge meal, let's say it's got some meat and it might take 6 to 8 hours to break down that meat. When you're sleeping, your body only has X amount or a certain amount of energy. So the question is it going to spend that energy on breaking down the food you just ate, or spend that energy on repairing your gut health, your body, your muscles, etc., etc. So more on that is, before I do go to bed, I do the oral health as well with the oil pulling, like I mentioned before. And then with the sleep environment, I want to make it as dark as possible, turn all lights off. We want to remove charges from our room because the electromagnetic frequency, if your phone's charging near you, it ruins your frequency. Make sure if you've got a TV off in your room, turn that off. I also put on nose tape, mouth tape, the little night masks, and then I also put earplugs in. And I'll also put on like some meditation music in the background just for some white noise, because I don't want anything waking me up during the night. Now, I've only started doing this since I moved into an apartment. If you lived on a house, just from a instinctual standpoint, you probably don't want some music in the background, because it's the noise you want to be alert, ready to fight the intruder or whatever it is, right? Just an extreme example. 5 minutes before bed, do a bit of reading, a bit of journaling, whatever I'm feeling at that time, and that just calms my mind. Then once I'm in bed, I focus on my breath and meditate. So if you meditate whilst you're in bed, two things are gonna happen. You either get an amazing meditation session or you go to sleep. Then finally, for the extra bonus is the final biohacking point is you wanna optimize your saunas and your cold exposure as well as massages. Now that gives you a really good foundation. I know at the start of this video, I did say it's the only video you gotta watch, but this makes you watch the whole video, right? So I've gotta say that. So with this information you've learned today, do some research, invest in yourself, invest into a mentor to teach you this stuff. I'm not a health coach, so don't be asking me this. I follow Gary Brecker, Barbara O'Neill, as well as Andrew Huberman. They're amazing for this. So if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, someone in the sales space, and you hack your life, you biohack everything, I can guarantee the results you receive are amazing. If you optimize your health, you optimize your wealth, and everyone's having a better life. So this video popping up on screen now will be immensely valuable. I'll see you on there, and have an absolutely phenomenal day, guys.